Shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome to the 12 Cities in Israel podcast. My name is Michael Sahno.
I'm Rachel Villegas.
And this is the only positive podcast about the state of Israel. Welcome to the show. This is episode 7. Seven. Dude, we are getting up there. That is so crazy. Okay, welcome to the show. Before we get started, I'm going to do as I always do. I'm going to give a shout out to our wonderful sponsors. Our first one is iConnect. iConnect, engagement with Israel that earns you rewards. Earn points and connect with Israel with articles, games, quizzes, polls, and more. So what exactly is iConnect? Well, iConnect is a social gaming platform where you can play, earn points, and receive cool prizes all for free. Their goal is to help you stay connected with Israel no matter where on the globe you are. Now, why should you play? Because iConnect introduces you to a unique way to acquaint yourself with all things Israel while working towards winning once in a lifetime experiences. So head on over to www.iconnect.co.il. That's www.iconnect.co.il and start playing now.
Our next ad is from Israel Phones. Israel Phones is the leading provider of communication devices for people traveling to Israel. Israel Phones offers SIM cards, MiFi devices, travel products, and serves the connectivity needs of tour groups, synagogues, schools, community missions, study programs, and individuals, supplying you with international prepaid SIM cards, cell phones, and USB portable modem hotspot rentals. Israel Phones consistently provides dedicated support for your travel cell, offering cutting-edge technology at competitive prices. For more information on what Israel Phones can do for you on your next trip to Israel, visit www.israelphones.com.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. You are getting so good at that. Look at you with your radio voice.
I can read.
Well, no, it's a lot more than that. We have to put on our best face for our sponsors. We have to
enunciate.
Yeah, we have to. Well, yeah, exactly. So
I'm learning.
Well, you've learned. I don't know if you know this, but you have learned. So what a lot of the listeners and viewers may, if you followed us from the beginning, all the way back in episode 1, that was 6 episodes ago. So, she didn't enunciate.
No.
Church mouse? Anyone? Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, all right. Thank you. Bye. And I sent you. What did I send you?
There's a video. It was like on teaching like how to speak properly.
No, it wasn't on how to speak properly. It was like, on public speaking. I think it was, and there was a whiteboard in the back of the video, and there was
like tongue twisters, but not a tongue twister. Because it makes you learn how to pronounce the syllables better. Correctly.
Yeah, she went to college. Yeah, she went to college with me. So what's this episode about? Do you know what? I spoke to you about what this episode is about. Do you want me to tell what this episode is about, or do you want to?
Of course I would want you to tell us what this episode is going to be about.
So, and it also locks me in for commitment, so we stay on target.
True.
So, over the past couple of episodes, we've told you about why we do this. We've told you what brought us to doing this. Each of those were individual episodes. We've told you about our journey, so to speak. Now we're going to tell you about what we do. We're going to tell you about what we're planning to do. And 12 Cities in Israel is, the best way to describe it is a media project. So what do I mean by a media project? What I mean is that there are different there are different aspects, different projects, different focuses within this larger framework that is 12 cities in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And what that is that framework lays inside another layer, which lays inside a layer that's above that. So the best thing to do would be to start at the top. Okay, so 12 cities in Israel is our show, our travel show. But that's not the top. Okay, that's not the summit of what the plan is right now. The top is the Magnus Store Media Group. And right now, it's called Magnus Store Entertainment. And it will remain Magnus Store Entertainment on paper until the paperwork goes in and I change it with the state of New York. But the reason why I'm changing the name of the umbrella corporation, ooh, creepy, Resident Evil. The umbrella corporation for everything is because everything that we're doing, we're not just doing one thing. We're doing a multitude of things, and all of it, and we're going to explain all of those things in this episode. So Magnus Store is the parent company. Okay. And it's the Magnus Store Media Group. Now, the name Magnus Store came from the silliest of places. Did I tell you where it came from?
No.
It's a gamer tag. It's my gamer handle. So I was, here we go. This is the dork 20-sided die story that you're going to get. This is my origin story. Yes. So
here we go.
I was playing, oh my gosh, World of Warcraft. And
ooh.
Yes, that's going way back. I was playing I wanted to play World of Warcraft. So I wanted to be Magnus because it sounded tough. And I wanted to be a paladin. And I wanted to just right that world's wrongs. So I signed up with Blizzard and went to get the name Magnus, and a red text came up telling me that name is taken, and I was my entire identity, my mental World of Warcraft identity that I had created even before I'd even touched the game was just dashed to pieces. So all of a sudden this thing pops up and it says, would you like us to generate a name for you?
Magnus 1 2 3 4 5 6.
Yeah, right. And I said, okay, click, and Magnus Store came up, and I went, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, because in German, Tor means mountain, so it would be like in Latin, Magnus is great, I think. So it's great mountain. So I was like, yeah. This is all right.
You're a dork.
Yes, I'm a total tool bag. I'm sorry. But that's where the name came from. So from that point on, I was Magnus Store. When every video game account that I've ever had has been Magnus Store. On Steam, I think I'm Magnus Store. Steam is a platform, for those of you who don't know, where you can, it's like iTunes for video games on the PC. You can download games and play them in it. And I do. Yes. So
Shabbat.
No, not on Shabbat. Because you can't. Well, it depends on who you are, but I don't do it on Shabbat. So that is where the name came from. And I have a funny little side story. So I'm telling my son Robert about, I'm starting a business. What's the name? Magnus Store. He goes, wait a minute. That's your gamer tag. And I didn't even know what the word gamer tag was. I just knew that was my name in the video game. And he's like, that's your gamer tag, Dad. I was like, all of a sudden I was totally mortified. Instantly mortified. Like, oh my God, this is horrible. And he goes, that's so cool.
Aw.
Yay. So I got street cred with my son. And that became, and to further that story, when the Department of State with the state of New York, you have to put in, your application for a business, and I put in Magnus Store. I got a response back from the state going, "What the hell is this name? What does it mean?"
That's scary.
Why? Well, we want to make sure it's not offensive. I was like, oh no, like
World of Warcraft made it. No,
like if it was something in like Chechen or whatever, I don't even know if Chechnya has a language, but if it was something in Georgian that was like something to do with your mother or something like that, they wanted to make sure I wasn't screw you, incorporated. And so they came back. I said, it's actually my gamer tag, and that person went, cool.
Oh my God.
I'm the only one that's out of the loop on this. So Magnus Store Entertainment was the original name of the business that I started. Now, when I started telling people about Magnus Store Entertainment, and you hand out your card, especially if it's to a woman, you get this very creepy feeling that sort of invades the conversation almost immediately. People go, what is this? Like, I guess because, and I'm not going to be explicit in what I'm talking about. You can infer what I'm talking about. Where I would hand out my card and they'd go, I'm good. I'm okay. My 12 cities in Israel card, that never happened. Oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing. This sounds so fun. Magnus Store Entertainment, I sound like a creeper. So I decided to change the name over the past couple of weeks to the Magnus Store Media Group. And the Magnus Store Media Group stands on top of everything. It oversees everything. Then underneath that, we've created another entity. Are you ready for this? This one's fun.
It's such a cute name.
The Ahuva Network.
Yay.
And it means love. And Ahuva is a name, and Ahuva is a word. And it's
Ahava.
Like, you know how some people are named Aviv, which is, and Tel Aviv, Aviv, is how they're said a little bit differently. Well, Ahuva is a name. The woman who has the
best store ever.
Oh, yeah, the best store in Haifa, up at the top of Mount Carmel. Ahuva Arts and Crafts, she has these, she makes all these different things. She makes hamsas, jewelry.
Like little decorations.
Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. And we went there and got a bunch of stuff, and that name has been kicking hard around in my head. And Ahuva means loved, to be loved, or love. And it's just the perfect thing for what I'm trying to do, what we're trying to do. And that's with our just our positive focus. And I know I say that a lot, but it really is. It's something interesting happened, and I don't talk about politics. That's a no-go zone. But I do talk about social context on this podcast. And one of the greatest things, and this is related to positivity, and I saw this and I was blown away. And Saudi Arabia has said publicly that the age for war with Israel is over. Yeah, how do you respond to that? I'm so happy right now. And they're saying what we're saying with the name of our network, which is Ahuva, which is love, and people are getting along. And I want people to get along. And that's the whole purpose of what we're doing here, is just to make people understand that there's a lot of love in Israel. And it's why the Yahoo Vaughn network is perfect for what we're trying to do. So as it stands right now, I know I dropped that Saudi Arabian thing, but that was so intense, it needed to be brought up. And we were talking about love, so I thought it was appropriate. So we have Magnus Store Media Group. We have the Yahoo Vaughn network, okay? And underneath the Yahoo Vaughn network, we have 12 cities in Israel. So that is where it gets fishy. Not fishy. That's the absolute wrong adjective that I was looking for. Confusing. Okay. So so think about it. So Yahoo Vaughn network, what does a network have? A network has programming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have on our YouTube channel, our 12 Cities in Israel YouTube channel, a bunch of different programming. I'm going to tell you straight off the bat, I have not done a good job at
organizing.
At organizing, at separating things. One of the things that I'm going to do coming up over the next week, over the next week, I'll rate that on my to-do list as something to get done immediately, is put all these podcasts in a playlist. Because that way you can go from this podcast to the next one. I'll also put all the vlogs in a playlist, and then I will categorize different sections of the YouTube channel so that you can go and see different things. Now, we had a conversation after Shabbat this past week where I explained to Bigash how we're going to turn our YouTube channel into more than just a channel. We're going to turn it into an actual channel, an actual network that has its own specific programming, that dedicated programming. So one of those programs is going to be the 12 Cities in Israel podcast. Another one is going to be something that we're already doing, something you and I have already done, and that's the 12 Cities in Israel vlog. The vlog is going to be done twice a month. The podcast happens every week. And then on top of that, I mentioned before Samilim, and Samilim means icons. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
And that's the documentary. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to the National Archive in Israel. I was telling you this downstairs, and try to get photos of everyone and get them on board and get them to give me contacts for people that I can speak to who are experts on these individuals, like Danny Dayan. Danny Dayan. I know Danny Dayan. He's the ambassador to New York. He's a good guy. He's actually a great guy. Really friendly. I feel like I'm running into him everywhere, though. Or maybe he feels like he's running into me everywhere. Oh, gosh. But Moshe Dayan, he's the father of the IDF. He's the man who made the IDF what it is. David Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister of Israel. Who else am I going to do one on? The first one's going to be on Theodor Herzl.
Oh.
He wrote The Jewish State, which eventually became the roadmap for what became Israel. Rav Kook, who was I think he was the first chief rabbi. Ashkenazi chief rabbi. Another one is going to be the first chief rabbi, Sephardic chief rabbi. He's from Haifa. He's got a really interesting life. But my problem with this is that all of his biographies are in Hebrew, and I can speak pretty well, but I can read, but my reading comprehension in Hebrew is not the best. So I'm going to have to find someone who can just
translate it.
Yeah, give me his life. You know what I mean? Who else? Oh, this one's big. So Bialik. I can't remember his first name. Who just happens to be, he's known as Israel's poet. He's the number one poet because poetry has and continues to be very important in the Israeli discourse, pre-state through all the way up till now. And they still give major prizes for it. And Bialik, Mayim Bialik is his name. He is related to someone who is alive today.
Who?
Mayim Bialik. From the what's that show? The physicist guys, Sheldon and all them.
Wait, The Big Bang Theory?
Yeah. Mayim Bialik, who's on that. The girl with the glasses.
Uh-huh.
Not the one who's like this. The other one.
Okay.
The neuroscientist, that's Mayim Bialik. Her, I think it's great-great-grandfather or great-grandfather was Mayim Bialik, who is the preeminent poet of Israel. He has since passed.
Wow.
So I want to do one on him. I want to do a couple of them, and they're going to be half an hour. They're going to have a ton of great photographs. I've got some really fun scripts. You read the script
Herzl
on
one.
Herzl.
Yes.
Was that one too dense? And you can be honest. If it was too dense, if you think
It was dense to read because it was a lot of information, but listening to it would be different.
Explain that.
Because, like, for a lot of people, if you were to just give them, what was it, like 2 pages of just words, like already you can see like, all right, this is going to take time. And like, it's not like easy reading either. Like it's informative. It's meant to like follow his life as a story. So it's informative, but it's also following a timeline.
But I'm not going to be reading it like Winston Churchill in 1942 during the height of the war. I'm not going to be...
That would be interesting, though.
No, but you know what I mean? I'm not going to be reading it like that. I'm going to be reading it in my voice, which, if you watched episode 6, I need to bring this up. If you're watching this and you're a follower, you notice that there's an apology at the beginning of episode 6 because this bozo, me, I had no idea.
Accidents happen.
So I'm going to explain this, though. So on the Canon, which was our camera that we used when we filmed our show, which we're going to talk about that in a minute, we're actually going to spend the latter half of this episode talking about the 12 Cities Travel Show, because that one, that's our Gold Star baby. Gold Star.
Aww.
Yeah. Man, I want them as a sponsor. I really want them as a sponsor. And probably AA meetings, but I really want them as a sponsor. Gold Star is a beer for those of you who don't know, and it is just amazing. It's so good. And everyone I know who's gone to Israel, I say Gold Star and a smile purses on their lips. So, but yeah, so on our old camera that we filmed everything on, both of them, the Canon T5i and the Canon T6i, when you open the door to take out the SD card, the camera shuts off. As soon as you open the door, the camera shuts off. On our new camera, which is Sony AX53, FDR Sony AX53. Why I remember that, I don't know. But it's super duper. It's an amazing camera. It's like 4K, super duper HD. It will make coffee for you. It will watch your kids while you run down to get smokes. It will do all kinds of stuff. But you can take the SD card out while it's on, which I think is a design flaw. And what happens when you take the SD card out when it's on?
Bad things can happen.
Destroys the file. And I didn't know that. I did it. It's on me. Sorry. But there is if you do watch episode 6 on YouTube, and it's a special treat for those of you who go on YouTube because it's not on the podcast. It's not on the audio version that comes through our feed. If you go, you can see a really fun apology, a fun and sincere apology from myself. And yeah, so that was me. Sorry about that. Oops. It happens. So that is that. What was it? What was I talking about right before that, though? I was talking about something right before that.
12 cities.
I was talking about Samalim, which is icons. I talked about the podcast, the vlogs. The vlogs are the next thing that I want to talk about because, oh yeah, that's why I brought it up. So, the beginning of that episode has me sitting in the old studio, which is in my office, where I did all of these vlogs, where I did one on dehydration. I did one on Cofix. I have one coming up on one of our sponsors, iConnect. I owe you. Shoshana, I know. I owe you a vlog on that. And it's coming. Well, one of the things that happened was I pretty much DX'd the idea of doing vlogs anymore because it was so much work.
It's labor intensive.
But yeah, it is labor intensive. But when I started the idea kicking around about the network, which we're going to do this backwards. So I was explaining to you, and I'm not going to go into detail because I don't want people. If people do this, that's them. Cool. That actually, it is a good idea. And if you want this idea and it'll work for your project, please do it. We're going to do it with our project as well. And if you look at like FX or CBS or whatever, they have their channel on cable, and then they have a YouTube channel, and they'll have clips. Even the news organizations have it, like MSNBC, CNBC, Fox Business, and like all of those, and they'll have clips of some of their shows. We're doing the reverse. We're creating programming on our YouTube channel, which is going to be the Ahuva network, and eventually this network will become a brick and mortar network, not just a digital network, you know?
Yay.
So, but what I'm doing is going back, because of that, I'm going back to some of the old programs that I did that got some really good hits. One of the ones that I'm doing is on iConnect, which I think is fun. Some of these are going to be sponsored too. And it's funny because you can say, whoa, you're doing it for corporations. You're such a sellout, bro. Yeah, absolutely. I went to college for 4 years so I could figure out a way to generate income, okay, for myself and for my family. And this is, am I embarrassing you? I'm sorry.
No, because it's the truth.
No, I'm not a sellout. I figured out a way to generate income. I figured out a way to create a station outside of the normal model and to generate create a paycheck for myself and for you in the future. And I think that's phenomenal. You thought I was going to swear. Nope, I didn't do it. So we are coming up on the half hour. I have to give some more shout outs real quick. So let's do that, and then we're going to pick up with vlogs again, and we'll go into the travel show. How does that sound?
Yes.
All right. So our next ad is what? Awesome. It's Neviot flavored water. Nature at its best taste. Neviot delivers you with the true combination of health and pleasure based on Neviot natural mineral water, one of its kind in Israel. It's enhanced with 5, you hear that? 5 B group vitamins. It's naturally sweetened. It is low in calories, only 35 to 40 calories per 8 fluid ounces. There's no preservatives, and there are also no color additives. It is available in delicious, indulging flavors, apple, peach, and grape. If you're in Israel, you should be drinking Neviot. For more information, check out their website at www.neviotglobal.com/en/home. That is www.neviotglobal.com/en/home. And our next sponsor is
Mockolate Online.
Woo! I just ordered from them.
Yum. Where's my snacks? Mockolate Online's main goal is to make Israeli groceries and Judaic products affordable and available to everyone in the USA and Canada. Their online store carries items that are unavailable in most places in North America. Things like tahini, Israeli chocolates, frozen barekas, and the Neviot water that we are drinking here today. At Mockolate Online, you will find your favorite Israeli goods or simply enjoy brand new flavors. All of their products are kosher and most are manufactured in Israel. If you want the taste of Israel delivered to your home, visit www.mockolateonline.com and order today. For an added bonus, if you use the code 12 Cities in Israel's all one word and no spaces, you will receive 15% off your entire purchase. So again, visit www.mockolateonline.com, mockolateonline.com, and order today.
All right, so that code, 12 Cities in Israel, it's the number 12, cities in Israel, all in caps. It works. It's awesome. Not that it wouldn't work. They're very responsive. Actually, they are super duper on it. As soon as you order stuff, they kick it right out the door. And I just ordered Vitamin Cheek, which is this flavored
Crack.
syrup. Yes, it's not crack. It's tasty.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, why not? So what that is it's a syrup that you add very little bit, and it comes in raspberry, grape,
Watermelon.
yeah, no, it doesn't. Apricot, no. Mango, peach,
What's the red one you have?
apple. Oh, no, that's raspberry.
Oh, never mind.
And it what's crazy, and I showed you this before, you open it up and you smell it, and it smells like raspberries. Not like it smells like raspberry flavor. It smells like, you know how raspberries are like fuzzy?
Yeah.
And there's that tartness. It smells like that. It's awesome.
They smell fuzzy.
Yay. I feel fuzzy. Anyways,
Vlog.
the vlog. Okay, so what we're doing is yes, I'm a sellout. Big deal. Deal with it. Live with it. No, what I mean by that is that if you come to me, if you're an Israeli company and you have something that I believe in, I'll do a little 10-minute stand-up on it, where I talk about it. I did that. Actually, I've done a couple at no cost, because I think they're good products. One of them is Cofix. If you go online and if you go on our YouTube channel, you can watch our Saving Money at Cofix episode, and you will lose your mind at some of the photos. They have shakshuka sandwiches, which
I don't like tomatoes, so that's
it's
just
okay.
on me.
Then I'll eat it all. I show those slushies you got. That
Yeah.
oh, they have these amazing. But anyways, my point is, now all I'm thinking about is that slushie. My point is, I do these for things that I think you should be on the lookout for when you're in Israel, or that you can get here in the United States. I actually think I might do one on Mockolate Online. I think that might be smart. Just have them send me a bunch of stuff and I'll say, you can get this, you can get this.
Unboxing videos.
Yay. I've got one coming up that I think is going to be, I mentioned this to you and you went, ugh, like that. I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to do it on Yedidim. Harel Yedidim Insurance.
Oh.
And it's no. So, all right. Just quickly, I'm just going to say this 2 seconds. When you go to Israel, if you buy insurance, you can buy into their public insurance, their health insurance. And that means you can go and you won't get charged. You'll
a kidney.
Yeah. So you can just go show your Clalit card or whatever and say Clalit is one of the clinic brands or whatever that they use. And I'm going to clarify that hopefully before the video. And what I want to do is I want to tell, when I go there, I get it. You had it because Ben Gurion University.
It's mandatory.
Yeah, they're required. Just like when you go to college in the United States, they require you to have health insurance. When you go overseas to Ben Gurion University, they require that you have health insurance, and they provide it. And I had the opportunity to meet the people who ran that program. And I spoke back and forth with her. The woman I spoke with is the daughter of the man that we saw in the big amphitheater.
That he gave us information session on like the different clinics that are in the area and what clinics would be open 24 hours or that are still open on Shabbat just in case like emergencies happen. Like he gave us like the whole rundown of everything.
Yeah, and that's what the vlog's about. The vlog's about not just things that you should do to save money, things that you should do because they're fun, but things that you know so that when you go there, you don't get jammed up.
Yes.
No, right? What else did he tell us? Do you remember he folded the map?
It was a ginormous map that had like Israel on the back, but then it had Beersheba on like the other half. And it was like every place you could go to for like if you broke an arm, if you had a stomach ache, like anything like that you needed help with.
And fun fact, when he folded the map in half, what was in the middle?
The university, right?
Yeah, Beersheba.
Yeah.
Which is, they think of it as like so far south.
But it's really not.
It's halfway. So
literally.
So that's the vlog. That's, so what have I covered? I've covered a Magnus Store Media Group, Vaughn Network. Under that, we have our 12 Cities in Israel Media Project, which is the podcast, the vlog, Samilim documentaries on icons of Israel, and
travel show.
Now we have the travel show. Woo! Now the travel show is how we got started. We wound up going to Ulpan in Beersheba, and we kind of crafted this concept of a different kind of travel show that literally showed you the place, showed you the people, showed you the food. I guess other travel shows do that, but a lot of times they're focused on what?
Like they kind of like they go for like the people, like, oh, what are your reactions of this food, whatever. Like they just gloss over it, but it's like the food, how it got made, where it came from. That's it. It's like a more superficial view of it.
Yes. I would definitely agree with that. I would agree that a lot of the travel shows tend to be superficial. Either they go to the place and they'll go to a restaurant like Billy Bob's Barbecue, and then, how do you feel about this barbecue? Oh, this is the best barbecue I ever had. And boom, then they leave there and go, in the next town in Louisiana, we found out what real barbecue is. No, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas we go to the city, we go to places to eat. We absolutely go to places to eat. We also interview people in the street.
Yes.
And ask them questions about their town. What do you love about Beersheba? What's your favorite thing about Beersheba? We go to events that are being held in those cities. We went to the Southern Lights Festival in Beersheba. Our pilot episode, I keep bringing up Beersheba because that's where our pilot episode was. And it's on the YouTube channel that we have, and it's called Food and Fun in Beersheba.
Food and fun.
It's awesome. It's fun because there's so much. We got so much footage. So a little tiny story about that. One of my favorite stories. We're at the Southern Lights Festival. We're setting up the camera, and I get the camera set up. And what did I say to you?
Take the phone and run around.
I said, go walk around. She's like, okay, we're all set up. What do you want to do? And you were with Kira, right?
Yeah.
And I said, go walk around. Go see things. Go check it out. And I honestly have to tell you, some of the most amazing footage ever. Some of the most beautiful footage. I had so much footage to choose from. That was one of my most difficult parts. You did an amazing job. You really, really did.
Thank you.
So a funny fact about that whole sequence was shot on a Samsung Galaxy S5. So why? We had another camera. Why did we use that one?
It was compact enough for it, and you had the little thingy thing.
Yes, the little handle, the weighted handle. But did you know? Well, no, you did know this. I told you this. So right before we left, I got an S8.
Yes.
I got a new
phone. You got a new phone.
And I was really excited about it, but I was having trouble finding things in the camera on the phone. And I went and I watched this video, and it said that the S5 was the last model to have the amount of not workability, but where you can go in and do all the menu settings. Basically, the menu settings on the S5 were the same, on par with the menu settings in our camera. In the Canon,
yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
And you could really, really just do all kinds of stuff with it. We still use it. I do stuff on my S8. You're on iPhone.
I'm an Apple head. I'm sorry.
That's what. Don't be sorry. You're fine. Can't all be perfect.
Yeah.
But so that's just a fun fact. All of that was done on a Samsung S5. The quality in that camera was absolutely amazing. My son has an S5 that he doesn't want to get rid of, that I'm trying to upgrade him so I can get that, so we can use that as one of our cameras. Does that mean? So we did that. We also went all over town. We went to, where did we go? We went downtown. We went to the Shook, the market, and we took video there. The
old city.
We went to the old city. We went to the train depot, the old Turkish railway station.
Yeah.
And that's where
it was so bright and sunny over there.
But it was cool because that's when I had that, oh my gosh, come here.
The opening.
Set up the camera. What? I was like, no, set up the camera right here.
On the left of the highway, right on the other side of the fence.
Oh my gosh. But as soon as you looked through the camera, you went, wow, this is cool. And we found the perfect opening spot. And then what else we did was we went up to Tel Aviv. We went to Haifa. We went to Jerusalem. And we filmed, and we got to see a lot of Israel. And I know that sounds okay, good deal. No, but what you, the viewer and listener, or what you, the listener and viewer, might not understand is that the Israel that Bigash saw, the Israel that I saw the last time I was there, is not the Israel that's on the news or the internet. And it's why all of these different levels of the project are important. It's why I chose the name Ahuvah for the network. It's why 12 Cities in Israel is important, because I'm going to tell you what I told other people when I brought this idea to my mom. She said, "There's 12 cities in Israel." That was her response, and I said, "Yeah, there's actually more than that." And, actually, one of the things that I get from people in Israel is, "Why did you choose these 12 cities? What about this place?" And I said, "It's what happened. I'm sorry." So we've outlined basically everything that 12 cities, the lowest level, not the lowest level, but the lowest level on the ladder organizationally are going to be. And 12 Cities in Israel, the travel show, is going to be in, and I did this before and I got it, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Beersheva, Eilat, Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, Yafo, Netanya, Herzliya, Haifa, Tiberias. That was 12.
I can't count then.
I'll do it again. Ashkelon, Ashdod, Beersheva. I haven't said 4 yet. Why do you have 4 out?
Ashdod, Ashkelon,
Beersheva, Eilat, Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, Yafo, Herzliya, Netanya, Haifa, Tiberias, and now Akko.
Aha, I was right.
You were right. Oops. All right. So, and that's where that's where the show is going to take place. And each episode will be a city in Israel that we'll spend a half an hour with, and we'll give you a teaser, basically. What are you doing in your living room when you could be in Tel Aviv? What are you doing in your living room when you could be in Netanya, Yafo, Beersheva, Eilat, any of these places? Now, I've said this before in conversations that I've had with other people. That show has a shelf life. Okay? I was wrong about that. I was totally wrong. And what I meant by shelf life is that the show is made and then it's done. And then you put it on the shelf and then you walk away from it. That's bad. It's not bad. That's moral and whatever. That doesn't work for me because that's a missed opportunity. And what I mean by that is, what if, and this is business thinking. This is my brain doing the big business heavy lifting. So we've got Ahuvah. We got the Ahuvah network. Okay. 12 cities in Israel. We show the 12 cities. In the future, once those episodes are made, we keep the show going. We're in Israel. The show now expands to all of Israel. So you know how we did a restaurant, another restaurant, an event. Mm-hmm. So then we're looking at the future, and this is what you, the viewer and listener and viewer, we're podcast first, YouTube, I don't know, who cares? The listener and the viewer and the listener. We go to a lot. Do the first segment of the show. We go to Yafo. Do the second segment. We go to a festival up in Tiberias or the Galilee or Sfat or Akko, for the jazz festival or whatever. For the Pride Parade in Tel Aviv. You know what I mean? For the Pride Parade in Jerusalem, all of that stuff. We have this tremendous opportunity to just continually show what's going on in Israel. And there are new restaurants all the time. And I mean, that's the future of 12 cities in Israel. That's the future of the Yahoo network. And that's the future of the Magnus Store Media Group. And that is, in a nutshell, pretty much what we're about. We're about bringing you Israel. All kinds of Israel. I say no politics and no religion, but we will bring you the social fabric of Israel. If something's important in Israeli life, you know, it'll be brought to the forefront. The thing with Saudi Arabia that I mentioned in the beginning of the podcast. One could easily say, well, no, that's political. You just don't be a hater. Sometimes stuff's from the political sphere is going to affect our lives. Sometimes stuff from the religious sphere will affect our lives. We'll discuss that, but we won't dwell on it because that's not what we're about. We're about moving forward. The other thing, and the last thing I want to talk about, and I've dominated a lot of this conversation. I apologize. You've been really good, though. You've been like way into the conversation a couple of times, and I'm really stoked about that. We're cracking your shell. Okay.
Slowly.
Too bad there's just another eggshell underneath it. You're like a Filipino, Puerto Rican, Russian doll. Woo. Is that a thing? We're making it a thing. Yes. I want to do something that is slightly, I don't know how to explain it. So one of the things I wrote a letter to Hila Kidron, the person from Sullivan Law Firm, and I wrote a letter talking about what we do. I had a wonderful conversation with her. We both did when we were at the Jerusalem Post Conference. And I put something in that letter that I want to take 2 minutes to discuss. And it is, I wrote that Israel is what did I write? A democratic and progressive state. And I got hung up on that word progressive. And I was like, man, I don't want to, I want to use that word progressive, but I don't mean what people think I mean with that word. Like if you were to take a Rand McNally dictionary or a Webster dictionary and open it up, progressive means making progress, moving forward. And a lot of people who adopt the mantle progressive, and I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with being progressive. Just stop. I'm talking about the word. A lot of people who adopt the mantle or adorn the mantle of progressive onto things use it in a way that I don't know is appropriate. And I don't mean appropriate in terms of inappropriate and appropriate. I mean, like, no, I mean like an appropriate application of a word. You would not use a hammer to screw in a screw. You know what I mean? You wouldn't use you could probably use a monkey wrench to hammer in a nail, but might wreck the nail. So a lot of times progressive is misunderstood as being, we want to take what exists and discard it and do something else.
Something better.
Yes. And the mark of success has always and consistently been taking things that work and making them better. That is progress. Mm-hmm. And why I think that's interesting goes back to our discussion of insurance and the ability to all of the things that are available for you medically with the healthcare system in Israel that aren't available here. They're very progressive in the sense that they have taken something, health insurance, and moved it forward. So my whole reason for bringing that up is we are doing something very progressive with Ahuva, with the Magnus Store Media Group, and with 12 cities in Israel. We are not taking something and discarding it. We're taking something that has worked and making it even better.
Mm-hmm.
So was that a tangent?
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it might have been a little tangential, but ooh, that was a $40 word right there. You like that? But anyway, so that's what we're doing. We're basically doing a media onslaught about the positive things in Israel through a number of different programs that we're going to have on our network and through our parent company, the Magnus Store Media Group. Now, we are at that time where I need to talk about some wonderful organizations that I support myself and that I think you should support as well. The first one is Ale. Ale helps children with complex disabilities receive state-of-the-art medical, educational, and rehabilitative care in Ale's 4 facilities. In addition, Ale provides thousands of outpatient treatments annually. Without Ale, many of these children would be forced to spend their lives in hospitals with no opportunities for rehabilitation, education, and the love and warmth of a home. Please visit www.aleh.org. That's www.aleh.org, and see if there is any way that you can help them. I found out about them through you know what? I'm going to make that another episode. We'll talk about Ale in another episode.
Cool. Our next is Schneider's Children Medical Center of Israel, and it's the only comprehensive tertiary care hospital of its kind in the country and in the Middle East, offering the full range of pediatric disciplines under one roof to all children from 0 to 18. Since its establishment in 1991, Schneider Children's has revolutionized the practice of pediatric medicine in the country and has been recognized as one of the leading pediatric institutions in the world. To see what you can do for them, please visit www.schneider.org.il/ENG.
Yay. And Schneider, I did find out from something we talked about in the last episode, which was Kululam. But I think actually what we should do is we should spend an entire episode, do the first half where we talk about LA and do the second half where we talk about Schneider. And I could send you a bunch of information. And they do some just absolutely wonderful, amazing work. And if you can, please go to their website and help them. I also want to talk about going back to our travel show. We want to film 6 episodes of it, the full half-hour length 12 cities in Israel travel show. And to do this, we need to be in Israel to film. We're trying to raise a budget of $50,000, and this will include airfare, lodging, equipment and transportation for getting around Israel, and a host of other things that just come up when you're trying to film in another country with a crew of 4 people for 7 weeks. By giving us just $2, you can bring us closer to the $50,000 that we need to film for 7 weeks. And you can do this by going to our website, www.12citiesinisrael.com, and hitting the PayPal button. We are asking for only $2. Please visit it and donate.
All right. And also, please visit us on our YouTube channel, where you can see this video version of this podcast and our other videos that we have produced. including our full-length travel episode on the city of Beersheba in southern Israel. And while you're there, please share it and subscribe. And check us out on our main website at www.12citiesinisrael.com and on our Facebook and Instagram pages, where every day we post a brand new photo from our Israeli travels.
Yay. All right. That is it for us. As far as checking us out, you can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Google Play. Tune in. Spotify. We are available on SoundCloud and Stitcher. We are also available on Stitcher. And as she said, Bigash, my wonderful co-host, you can watch a video version on YouTube. All right, that is it. Toda rabah. Yalla, bye.
Bye.
Kara